Hello. Hello, we're just waiting on the Twitch ads. Hello. Oh, it's very yellow today. Oh, I know why. Hang on. You know that chat window? That's better. Oh, it's a sunny complexion. Yeah, the light's a little bit orange. Oh, Wizard, I've been using a different caption thing that's got an OBS plugin called Captions Rush, which has been pretty tasty and fun. Just, you know, since you're OBS adjacent, it might be of interest. We'll hard code, but also is here, and various different paid models as well as free, but the paid models will also translate other languages, which is so fun. You rewatched. Oh yeah, I did, didn't I? Yeah, it's been pretty good. It's been slowly tweaked, so like the Valkyrie model itself, which is not Captions Rush, it's, you know, they've apparently improved it. I still think it has a way to go with English accents. If you want it to translate everything, it has to go off the like US model. But that's just the fucking model. But no, it's been pretty good. It's caught some, like, it's done well. C'est très bon. Petit peu. I like how I did the French. Ugh. Hello, Cheshire. Thank you for 62 months of using your Prime. I hope you're good. Also, Raina, I hope you're also doing good. Whatever you've been up to, thank you for 39 months. C'est très français. Et c'est... No, I have no idea how we'd say that. It's validating for me because my grammar is atrocious, but sometimes it's fine. We also discovered that the way I say Nandeo, which it can't do if I'm speaking English because it gets confused, but I say it in apparently a Korean way. Nandeo. Konnichiwa. Thank you. There we go. That's a fancy little update. Oh, what's the broth? Hello, Nunu. I like how I asked the question before saying hi. Myst is an older game, yes, but we're playing the 2022 remake. Oh, beefs and chickens. Lovely. Beefs. You've had a migraine for the past 12 hours. Oh, Jesus. I'm glad that stopped. Raiders recently replayed Myst. I've never played it, so we're properly doing it now. Lots of bones. Yeah, Myst is originally 1993. Because it and Seventh Guest basically, like, set the bar for PC puzzle games. That's a point, actually. Before we go into it, I need to probably set the FMVs to be the originals for the lols. Thank you, Bottle. You didn't need to do that. It's alright, there's a poltergeist in here. You have a vague memory of Myst, but it's very vague, almost like Myst itself. Yeah, the facial animation isn't great in the remaster, exactly. So I feel like we should... Also, if you've got the FMV, the classic FMV, you should. But I had to restart it, so I didn't last time. Hello, Jared. It's been a while. I hope you're doing well. Hello, Parker. Not all the FMVs will be originals, even with that setting for specific resolution reasons. Yes, fair. But we can have some of them. I also welcome in. Last time I started it, discovered I had no frame of reference in which to begin putting things in a book. So have got a very questionable contents page. We were reading different, what appears to be historical documents / books from different ages of Myst. Where I just started writing things down, so I was like, I have no idea if this will be useful to us. We're in that stage. Also, look at the fingerprints on this already. Dear me. But yeah, last time I discovered that predominantly the books are written by a man. I'm going to assume a man. I feel like it's let's be honest, you don't fuck about with an active volcano for the lols and for science, generally, do you? You've got 2 boys at home. And then bring them with you to this strange world that's a little bit deadly, and then maybe get them trapped in books. Not sure what's going on with that, but one of them's definitely an asshole. One of them said please when they asked for help, and the other one did not. And you should never judge a book by its cover, but I'm damn well going to judge it by the cover page and the talking person inside. You just bought a PS3. God, yeah. The PS3. Yeah, the store shutting. It's all a bit... physical media. Yeah. I can see part of the reasoning. From there's a finite amount of material in the world to make the things. But I would also argue that if we don't have them, we're going to lose shit. You know? Like, the reason that we have some games still is because of the original cartridges and consoles that have just sat in someone's attic. So the whole thing is incredibly... To be fair, all the developers of consoles seem to be mildly out of touch at the moment. You got a slim PS2. Oh my god. Slim PS2. Please hold. Oh, it's there. It's fine. Oh yeah, I forgot as well. The music for this isn't there unless I tap it. Oh, I think we've got like majority. No, it's Ocarina of Time. I think we've got the N64. Like, we've got it somewhere in the house. Also, yeah, encoding is just overloading. Don't mind it. The game has for some reason decided it's going to eat everything, even though it's an old game on low settings. This can happen. Dragon Age did this. But yeah, it's wild how much some of the originals cost. I mean, what I would say, Jared, is Microsoft in a slightly different situation with the backtracking. Is they've not carried favor in other ways. Microsoft also have, how they're dealing with things like AI in Windows, the fact that they worked with Israel. So they've kind of had to backtrack on some things because they've done arguably more than PlayStation / Sony in terms of bad shit. In the grand scheme of, war and genocide. But, so they have backtracked on some things, but it's just everyone's a bit... And then you've got Nintendo, who's just firmly in the corner going, no, we like our cartridges. the biggest play that Nintendo could possibly do right now is start porting their games, genuinely. Can you fucking imagine? They were like, so, you can get all the Pokemon games on Steam. All the Zelda. The Switch cartridges are, yeah, sometimes just download tokens, which is a pain in the bum. For some, yeah, in some cases. So it's, again, it's still not perfect. But they've kind of always had weird cartridges. So, yeah. Hello, Sethy Duck. I am going to read you some books. Oh, fuck, it's book reading day again, isn't it? In the library. Oh. Oh, shit, hang on. I might need to go back out again. FMVs. I'm pretty sure I have to restart it. Have to be in the menu. We'll double check. I don't know if Sony will backtrack on the no physical media thing. Like, how stubborn are you on a scale of 1 to 10? Was it in here? Hello? No. Classic video mode. On. To enable this option during a game session, you may need to reload a save or restart the game. Yep. Let's just reopen it. Which will mean the shaders poop themselves again, but that's fine. Hello, Clara. I hope you're doing good. This is the thing, that Nintendo won't port stuff. What I would say is, yeah, they're incredibly litigious sometimes, but they do look the other way on what is a huge fucking industry. When I say industry, I don't mean like money-wise. I mean just collective of emulators. Because I don't wanna say every single creator that you see streaming it is using an emulator, because not everyone is. But a lot of the time, for ease, emulator. All the crowd control ones, emulator. And it's like that they are deliberately just not looking. And if they did start going into PC, I suspect they would start looking. It's like, But I feel like there are certain moves Nintendo could make. Like, just release, Pokemon Classic Edition. It's like all of the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games in one cartridge. For like, I don't know, 70 quid. Price it a little bit higher. You get people buying it. Continue. Oh, we're doing all right. You've got a party later. Oh, God. You're in holding mode. You're in, like, the waiting phase. Right. Hello, phone. Are you okay? It's all right. Calm down. Just checking you were alive. It skipped the opening unless I'm returning. I not. So this is day two of playing it. So I don't panic. I've done that bit. I found the library. Hope some books. The watch streak thing is all over the shop, Sethy Duck. I've only got it on because it gives you community points, which you could use for crowd control games, etc. Please never feel, if you're looking at things like watch streaks, please never feel that you have to do them. It stresses you the fuck out. Don't worry about it. Right. Okay. So, last time I basically came over that way, discovered that I suspect the power isn't on. Found some books. That ship is a little bit sunk. What was in here? Please hold. Oh yeah, it's the weird chair. Don't worry about that right now. I think they've tweaked the watch streak settings to be more forgiving, so they allow like past broad VODs and clips maybe. But there's people who've watched every single one and it's broken the streak for them, so don't worry. But also congrats. I personally just don't use them on channels because I am not always around to watch them. So I'll take the like points if I'm watching someone that offers it, but I don't try and chase them. I suppose like tracking your viewers is unreliable. Who'd have thunk? Where are my closed captions? That is that is much nicer FMV wise than the it's I think it's because so they didn't go with modern FMV for the remake. They went with like I'm going to describe it as PlayStation 2 graphics faces. Like they're not high end graphics faces. They're not a real person's face. They're kind of uncanny valley. But they also don't really have the emotional capacity. That's why I'm like PS2 because they're sort of a little bit smoother and rounder and they can do talking and things. But like they've had quite a lot of like Botox recently or something, so they're a bit just like bar. So yes, I will take what, if memory serves, it's like 2 of the devs playing them. Oh, hello. There we go. So I just would help if I had my hands on the right keys. Yeah. They look much better now. It's what? Rand Miller and his brother. Also, hello, Dark Vamp on YouTube. Are you good? 1 second. I'm gonna shuffle that over here a bit. Oh God. We need to go back to the books before we do anything else. It's book time. What are we calling these 2 people so far? So we have, this is a blue book, and this is a red book. So this is Robin Miller, and this is Rand Miller. That's not their in-game names. Now, what I can tell you, from my studies of the environment so far, please hold as I find the right page. I don't know what age we're in. I assume we're not in the mechanical age. I assume we're also not in the Selenic age. We might be in a different age altogether. Here they are. Cyrus and Akanar, I believe, are the 2 gentlemen in there. I believe they are the sons of the man who has written the books we're going to look at in a minute. That's all right, Dark Vamp. I hope you had a nice time visiting your mum. And the washing and unpacking goes well. Also, hello, Donna. How are you doing? The day goes well, although I'm about to try and confuse myself utterly in this silly game. Also, for those of you who aren't familiar with Myst, this is this is from 1993. Mad Hatter, thank you very much for the 76 months. Hello. This was remade. We are playing the remake from, I think I said 20. It's 2020 or 2022. I can't remember. But this is one of the games that inspired the creator of Blueprints. So it felt right after Blueprints to come and bumble around in this collectively. Especially as some of you were not alive when the original version came out, which always makes me feel a bit old. So yeah, I think that these 2 boys are Cyrus and Akanar. I can't remember if they actually introduced themselves. But I am pretty sure that Blue Book Boy was not a very nice lad. When I say that, he was quite snappy, bit rude. Both of them would like me to give them coloured pages. Or pages. Which I assume is going to power them up in some way. Right? This one, and again, I can't remember who is who, or if they introduced themselves properly, but he was a dickhead. He did not say please. He was like, give me the pages, that sort of thing. Whereas this lad over here was like, please help me. I could I have some please could I have some pages? So either he's being polite or he's less of a dickhead. If we're going on the sort of just initial appearances. Oh God, she's Bram's got it on Monday. Donna. He's not the Messiah. He's a very naughty boy. They're two random lads that their dad brought here, and as far as I can tell, just left at a certain point. He also was working on a rocket, which is outside. And I've also got a random bit of like piano music. Oh, and also, some of the notes. The notes. When I say the notes, let's go and let me show you. Was it this one? Hello? Oh shit! Sorry, I've forgotten how the controls work for these books. Is it you? Those of you who are like familiar with blueprints but not Myst may start to go, oh, I see. I see the inspirations. It's not this one. Is it this one? Is it the Selena cage? So from what I can tell, these are books or diaries from different ages of Myst. Or this is someone who travels worlds. Catherine appears to be a person, I was going to say a person of interest, but potentially a partner. There they are. Cirrus and Akanar. But this here was supposed to be full notes and have disappeared over time. Over 18 months. Fortunately, many of these construction notes exist in another journal. Do I know where that one is? No. Is it here? Possibly. So we had two more books to look at. I say two more books. I think one of oh no, this one's the one that's got the. Hang on. There's also this one, which is 300 pages of this. I don't know what that's for yet. Channelwood is your favourite book. Yes. So Channelwood is a place because he'd left them alone, the two boys, S and A, as I put in here, in Channelwood, whilst he was here in the Selena cage. This man, again, assuming, appears to be able to move through time, but also places. I don't think dimensions. So we'll look at the stone ship age next. God, can't speak. And then we'll do Channelwood, because Channelwood, in theory, is a place, not an age. So maybe less relevant to something, or not. I don't know. But then I'd have the 3 books about ages in a row in here in my notes as well. Which, again, I'm trying to sort of make them as I go. I've made a contents area and had a small panic. Does he have a TARDIS? I don't know how he travels. There seems to be, what was it that it was referencing? There seems to be some sort of catalyst or magic stone, maybe, that's used. Because I feel like he said he'd left one behind so he could get back at some point. Returned with 2 sons. Oh no, they were here in the mechanical age, the 2 sons. So mechanical age is after the Selena cage, I think. Or maybe it's not. I have to cross-check. Because there's some terraforming that happens in one of the ages as an active volcano. And then in a different one, there are, what they called the the black ships that come and kill people. Oh no, you can't. Maybe he can travel universes because at the end of the mechanical age, he was leaving this familiar age in search of a new universe I have begun. We're just playing around with stuff. Basically, it's just someone playing like Spore or another game that I just can't reference. One of the like city builders. 8, 9, 10, 11. So I've got to make sure I know which page the Selenic Age of Myst starts on. Last time was an info dump and a half, but that is kind of expected because there's no frame of reference. There's no way to like order this. It's not like we can go into. It's like in blueprints, you at least have the ability to be like, right, indoors. Okay, we're going to go into different rooms. I can like make a contents list based on what those rooms are. And then, and there's a writing bit. With this, I have no fucking clue, which is great. But it's also a case of like, this is the library from what I can tell. Like, this is called the library. I'd argue it's not a very big library. But this is it. There's no rhyme or reason on where to start, which is fine. I'm good with that. Also, hello, E.G. Smith. I hope you're good. Welcome to Book Times. Also, have I just written the Selenic Age of Myst again? Because I was talking about the Selenic Age of Myst, as opposed to the Stone Ship Age. Fuck me. So this is page 11. The Stone Ship Age. This library does have books. I know, that's useful. Many of them are badly burned. I wonder if that's to do with the volcano or to just do with human intervention. Because actually, no, it can't be the volcano because that terraformed everything and there was nothing here. So, was it maybe in the, for want of a better word, pirate raid? Actually, the pirates were supposed to raid again, weren't they? They raided, basically murdered everyone but like 8 people. After 9 years, 2 of them had died, so there's like 6 people left. The black ships were coming back every 10 years, in theory. Tried building some ruins, on the ruins, rebuilding. So is this the aftermath of that? Did I check the subtitles? I suspect the subtitles are fine, and it's just that there are no subtitles when you click back on the book and the sons have nothing to say other than But that is a good call. Can I do it from here? Hang on. Shit, where do you live? Interface? Yes, they're on. I'm not going to do that. I'll leave it off color context. Enable HDR, bless you. We could, but we're not. Okay, it's on. They should be on. So it's just that the lads weren't saying anything. No, it's a good check. Because it could have turned itself off. Hello, Mekion. Yeah. Yeah, I'm attempting to make sense of what the fuck is happening. Which currently is just me writing in books. So it's story time, everyone. If I can actually use the controls properly. Right. The fuck is this? So, okay. Emmett was the first to live on the rocks. He named them the rocks because that is what they were. A group of sharp rocks clustered together in the middle of a large sea. So, before we go any further, I assume I've got 2 degrees in books, I'll have you know. I'm a professional. Oh God. Where is it? Selena Cage. So, the Selena Cage, there are no inhabitants here. There are forests and fields and green hills, blue sea, where clouds are, and also a lake. I am a bookologist, yeah. Damn right. Don't worry, Dark Star. Please never apologise. Self-care is important. I'm just trying to work out where this is historically in the grand scheme of the great ages of Myst. Um, so in the Selenic Age of Mist, turns up no inhabitants. Um, forests and fields, all of that jazz, very lovely. However, there's a hot breeze from the north, and they had to leave in the night due to terrible shakings in the ground and gigantic balls of fire. Active volcano, right? 3 months later, comes back. It's a barren desert apart from the perfectly preserved grassy hill that they slept on, which became an oasis. The old lake had dried up, but there was a larger new lake that was circular in shape and had a large jutting rock in the middle. There's a reason I'm going back to this. Um, they then had to leave again, or at least deal with the fact that there was another volcanic eruption, which opened up a huge chasm with a deep cave system underground, and lots of materials that can be used to make the rocket, I assume, that is mentioned, and also a satellite dish, maybe, that's mentioned in the same book. So it doesn't sound like he actually leaves, but he starts building tech then. But at that point, clearly, there is a rock in the middle of the lake. You see what I'm saying? Um, so that's the Selenic Age. That's the first one currently, I think. Then we have the Mechanical Age, which describes not only the black ships coming, but also the sinking of a city that left an outpost behind. But around the city were three high hills that were higher than the city. And that was all that was left of that. 6 months before the enemy were due, I think, or around then, this guy had come back with his sons to help the survivors rebuild. The fortress now sat between three hills, which are now islands, due to rising sea levels. So, are these rocks a group of sharp rocks clustered together in the middle of a large sea? Those same islands, but years later. Because it says he's the first to live on them. Hello, pork chop. Will we go to the Rapture? No, we're not going to the Rapture. It's fine. Because the whole lake moving around situation, and also the large jutting rock in the middle of the new lake, would say to me that it's... Well, I don't know, actually. I don't know where it necessarily comes, but I think it must come after the Selena Cage. Oh my god, Donna, what the fuck? Thank you so much. You silly woman. Oh, that's a lot of gift subs, thank you. As I attempt to... I'm just sitting here looking at this ridiculous book. Ow, excuse me. Simple principles of erosion would say that sharp rocks become rounded hills, not the other way around. You are fucking right there. But it's not a large sea. That's the problem. Unless, to be fair, we've not finished the book. The water levels may go down. Might be like a reverse water world. And yes, the handwriting in this is fun. Any sea is large if it's all you know. Oh, I hate that. You are also right about that. I don't like this. let's make some notes. So, Emmett was the first to live on the rocks, right? Capital T on the. Um, a group of sharp rocks clustered together. Middle of a large sea. This is where Emmett lived. He enjoyed his life. Hello, Beard. I hope you're good. Happy Saturday. Welcome to Book Times. We're trying to work out timelines, trying to work out what's going on. Standard. Just Saturday confusion. This was where Emmett lived. Is this book Twitch? Sure. There must be a better. Book Talk works. Book Twitch doesn't, but there must be something. Thank you, Sarah. I was not bothered either way. That's good to know. He should love everyone, to be fair. So yeah, this was where Emmett lived. He enjoyed his life. Emmett would occasionally swim to nearby rocks, as it was never too far of a distance. No, of course not. One day, another person appeared on the rocks for no apparent reason to Emmett. Emmett named this new person Branch. Branch appeared. They quickly became friends, swimming and hunting for fish together often. Emmett showed Branch the simple cave in which he lived on the largest rock. Soon Branch discovered a place where he decided to live, also on the same large rock. Oh dear. Wonder if this would be a problem. Like this writing. Holy shit, my handwriting's everywhere. Soon Branch discovered a place where he decided to live, also the same large rock. The sun always shone brightly in their world, and the water was always dazzlingly clear, allowing them to see almost to the deep ocean floor which surrounded them. Okay, so it's sunny. The ocean. Deep ocean floor. So that's not, it's not shallow. If it's a deep ocean floor, that's you know. Though the sun always shone. Hello, T. I thought it only made sense to go back after Blueprints. And I'm like, what the shit is going on? In the best way. What the fuck? Who's Will? What the fuck is going on? The sun always shone. It was never too hot for the boys. A light breeze always came from the north and cooled the area down. It is a bit Famous Five, isn't it? One day, Branch was swimming and having fun in the water and noticed another boy swimming. Branch brought the new boy to Emmett to find out what to call the new boy. Emmett said the boy should be called Will. Do they not have names? How does that work? Then met Will. Emmett said the boy should be called Will, which is also what he said about Branch. Will was soon to be part of the group, and all three of the boys swam and enjoyed their perfect world. At least that is the story I was told when I arrived today on the island. Emmett, Branch, and Will were surprised to see me at first, but before the night ended, we were all becoming good friends. Then the author appeared. It's very Three Investigators. The Three Investigators are bangers of books. Would highly, highly recommend them. It's a bit Scooby-Doo as well. Today, the second day on this newly created age, a strange thing happened. I'm just going to put day 2. Can I just clarify something? When you say day 2 of this newly created age, well, because you've turned up. Because they were here before you. So you're starting your ages when you just turn up, are you? Fine. Also, are you a boy as well? I'm assuming not. It was not strange to me, but the 3 boys did not understand what was happening. While I was relaxing under a large tree on one of the smaller rock islands, it began to rain, which they'd not seen before. I see. Hello, Michael. Welcome to Book Times. It began to rain. It was a nice rain. In the morning. It's all right. I don't know why I'm writing down lasted for about an hour in the morning, but just in case. It's like, how narcissistic do you have to be to think your presence alone decides when age begins? Exactly. Well, this is someone who seems to, teleport around the place, just going, "Ho ho, an active volcano! What fun! I'll just leave and come back and see how fucked the planet is afterwards. Oh, I'll just leave my 2 sons somewhere. Oh, they'll be fine. I'll get them later." So yeah, oh fucking hell, yeah, okay, so. It was a nice rain that lasted for about an hour in the morning. I explained to the boys that the rain was not harmful, yet they obviously still feared it because they'd not seen rain before. Where did these boys come from? How have they not perceived rain? But also, how are they old enough to communicate with each other? Where did language come from? Have you created these boys? Have you written them into being? Is it just, you make a new universe and it comes with random children? Have they all got amnesia because you kidnapped them from random parents in different universes and times? Who knows? Also, why don't they have names? Why is Emmett? Firstly, where did Emmett's name come from? But also, why does Emmett get to name everybody? And why are they shit names? Well, Will isn't shit. It's just Branch is not brilliant. The narrator of Myst is yes, but I think this is someone who is referencing things like going off and creating new universes. So you can see how you might become a bit of a twat. So before going to sleep tonight, I told the boys I would leave the following day. I told them while I was gone, I would make a surprising change in their world. They didn't understand that I expected them to. Hello, Corvus. I hope you're good. They did a novelization. I read the first one. That was enough. Oh, God. I also very early on gendered this man as a man because, no offense, gentlemen in chat, but this is not womanly behavior. The story is a bit odd, but it's of the time, isn't it? Like, I'm not saying that in terms of it being like racist and dated and controversial. It's just one of those times where like we hadn't quite worked out narration in gaming. But also, I think sometimes in puzzle games, and this is probably an example of that, and I think Seventh Guest is as well, you have the puzzles, you assemble them together, and then you're like, fuck, how do we make the story? And also, you're needing to do everything, especially back then. Like, it's not, you've not got multiple teams of people. You haven't got a narration team. You haven't got a writing team. You've just got one person who's like banging out a load of books. So yeah, kind of comes with the territory. That's why I think the Seventh Guest remake did a good job actually of trying to deal with some of those bits. Would he go forward in time? I don't know. This is the thing. I don't. Is he going forward? Is he going backward? Is he leaving this universe? I don't know. Having a team is not much about the times and more about the budget. Yeah, this is true. But even in 1993, you would not have a VA team or a narrative. You might have one person who did like narrative, but you'd spend 6 months plus on gameplay and 6 hours on the story. So we have learned a lot about game theory over the years, which has helped. We forgot about leaving the universe. Don't worry, we all do. There's a parody game released shortly after Myst called Pissed, and it had John Goodman in it. Sang a song of the game. The parody had a stronger narrative. Sometimes, though, I feel like parodies can do if you get hold of something that hasn't got much to it. That in itself becomes the parody. Right, okay. Hold everyone's horses. Also, this is another thing. I said this last time. Because what I've just skimmed ahead and accidentally read on the other page has reminded me. I don't know how much Sam Lake played Myst or was aware of Myst, but there is some crossover in terms of like almost para-utilitarian kind of things, like Alan writing. This fucker writes. Also, yeah, there weren't that many engines. That's the other thing. Just the entire production was slower and harder, and also limited by more. Anyway, so I was going to make a surprising change. Right, hang on. I need to make sure I write this bit down. I would leave the following day. But make a surprising change in their world. Bye, Donna. Enjoy the beach. Thank you so much for the gift subs. Hopefully that does fix the pouting. Okay. Excuse me, just turning the page. I still do not fully understand what happened today. I assume this is the next day? I was experimenting with the art. Testing the limits of the rules, as dictated to me by father. That's a good start. Also, father. Who is father? Oh shit, is this Jesus? But also, if you've got a dad, can he come and get you? Because you are fucking about, son. Like, where is he? What is he doing? Is he bumbling? Well, obviously. Testing the limits. I mean, what I'm getting here is I'm getting a Loki-esque kind of behavior where you've decided you've got some rules about creating shit. You've been told them. And now you fucked off somewhere to find some random island which has got 3 adolescent boys on, and you're just gonna, I don't know, draw some shit. You're not gonna tell them any of this. You're just gonna be like, I'm just gonna make, you'll enjoy it. You'll like it. It'll be a surprise. And then what? Disappear. This is proper silly god behaviour. This really is. I say god, I mean multiple gods. I attempted to create a boat by writing it into the world. Right. Okay. So that's, that's fine. That's just a normal sentence. Also, where are you writing it into the world? Is that the boat being written into the world in front of us there? Or have you written it somewhere else? Is there a specific place you have to write it? I thought everything was planned correctly, yet somehow the boat had become gripped by the rock and broken in half. He is a nosy botherer, but he also appears to have godlike powers, so he's the worst kind of both. It's like, Odin slash Loki slash what's his face? Any of the like cheeky trickster gods. Or just meddling because you can. Boat gripped by rock. And broken in half. I'm doing a lot of like writing it word for word because it might mean something specific. Right. Anansi, spider god, spider trickster god. Others are available. Highlights the entire book. Yes, that's. I thought everything was planned correctly, yet the boat became gripped by the rock and broken in half. Although this test did not turn out as I'd hoped. I now have answers to a few of the questions my father never answered. As for the boat, I can see the boys enjoy it anyway, and with that I'm pleased. They've played on it all day. Even though the boat cannot move, I've enjoyed studying from it. It's a much sturdier platform than the jagged rocks. In the course of my observations, I've learned some very interesting things regarding the solar system of this age. And also a submersible lamp. Do I need to draw the boat? Do I need to draw the boat? I don't need to draw the boat. I think it's the boat that's outside. That's partially submerged. Because if it was not stuck in the rock, it would just float on the water. And it's not. So I assume it's stuck in the rock. And maybe broken in half. Maybe it's just me, but creating an island about half the size of Jersey doesn't seem that impressive. And also, yeah, the Netherlands not only managed to do that in several places in Europe, I'm pretty sure that Norfolk in the UK was a Netherlands adventure. But he thinks he's hot shit. But also can't draw a boat. So, You'd fart and think it is the greatest thing in the world. Maybe that's what the volcano was. There is a diagram of a submersible lamp. Or is there? I'm just going to put here. It's a diagram of submersible lamp. And ship. And then if in the future I'm like, oh, where is this thing? I can just come back to that. Because I feel like that diagram gives me fuck all, really, to work with. The nights are absolutely beautiful here. I've made note of and named a number of constellations that pass above me. You've named them, have you? Ah. Anyway, named constellations. Hasn't told us any of them. Fucking selfish bastard. During the night, I catch glimmers of light from the horizon. My evolution of opinion of the write this book. Well, yeah. To be fair, the last couple, he's not been quite as much of a menace as this. I have yet to discover if it's created by some natural phenomenon or by additional people on far off islands or rocks. Can you not go and check that out? Did you not draw yourself another boat? I should very much like to discover which. I rather suspect it's additional people which would explain the appearance of Branch and Will. It would, but it wouldn't explain why they don't have names. But it's fine. It's fine. Natural phenomenon or other people. Also, before I forget, we will be having ads coming in on Twitch in 4.5 minutes' time. If you are not subscribed, you may see some ads. You can use this time to grab drinks, snacks, practice self-care, take your meds, have a stretch, do your laundry, that sort of thing. We might finish this book by the end of the ads. We might not. Oh God! I think we've got to do the other book, and then we can go and look at stuff. The rain today was slightly heavier than usual. Okay. So we're having a slow movement from clear skies to rain, which didn't really start until you rocked the fuck up, son. Unreliable narrator. My brain goes, they did have names. Well, it's Emmett who has apparently given them names. So we have to blame Emmett, Mab. Unless you're suggesting that he just called him Emmett and made his own names up, which also could be a thing. So then we have rain getting heavier. Heavier rain and a storm. They were frightened of the heavy rain, not to mention the thunder and lightning. If rain has never fallen here until recently, as the boys tell me, I'd like to discover why it's falling now. Regardless, don't worry about them. I've decided to return home for a short while. So, yeah, the boys are terrified of the impending thunder and lightning that appears to be getting worse whilst I'm here. I'll just fuck off. Oh well. Nevertheless, decides to return home for a short while. Um, this guy is the worst, isn't he? I know. I've also been thinking of some plans for a lighthouse that I hope to construct soon, or on this island. Do you know who he hasn't mentioned? He's not mentioned his sons, but he's also not mentioned Catherine yet. Catherine, who third points appears to have made some sense to him and stopped him being an asshole, maybe? but we'll see if she appears. Plans to construct a lighthouse. By shining a bright light towards the horizon, it might prove my suspicions regarding additional inhabitants. Oh no. Wants to see if it will attract additional inhabitants as well. Very, very scientific, very personal. They would be curious about the light and travel to discover its source if they have the means. I returned with many tools that I need for construction of my lighthouse. Oh, for fuck's sake. This guy. I returned with many tools I need for construction of the lighthouse. I've decided that once the lighthouse is completed, I will leave for some time and let the world's own imagination have control. What a knob. Okay. Returned and began work planning to leave for some time after and let I'm doing this in fucking quotation marks. Let the world's own imagination have control. That's a very, very linguistically interesting sentence. Right, 3 weeks in the lighthouse, making great progress. The rock we're building on seems to not be as secure as I'd like. Fuck's sake. You didn't even do a structural check. Why these boys let you boss around a bit? I know. I've got a lot of questions here. Including why he didn't do a structural, what is it, ground survey? I just make a little lighthouse. Oh no, I'm building it on a not very secure rock. Nice little lighthouse though. Also, I think this is the one, this might be the thing at the end of, well, when we go outside, I think it's when we literally go outside of the library, there is something that's like separated from us by water that might have a little like walkway. That might be this. I'm not sure. The boys are quite strong and have been helping me immensely. Lazy bastard. I estimate construction will be done within 2 days. Okay. The lighthouse is finished, and we're proud of our creation. The boys are amazed at the structure wrought from rock with their own hands. That evening we powered up the generator, much to their dread at first, and shined a great light to the horizon for many hours. I stayed the night at the top of the lighthouse, and in the morning awoke to observe the sunrise without my being coated with the chilly blanket of ocean dew I had become accustomed to. Okay. Finished it. Um, Watch the sunrise. Okay, so it was Will who first saw the girl. She was swimming not far from the boat where Will was getting ready to hunt for fish. Then Will noticed a man not far away from the girl. Emmett was very pleased to meet the additional neighbours. So, a girl and man appeared. So they just, swam there? From where? I feel pleased to leave this age. I have set in motion events that have nothing to do with writing or the art that will have a more profound impact on this world than I could ever have written. It's just... It's, nothing to do with writing or the art. I think... Oh. Well, that's helpful. Glad you think of it. Oh, fuck off. I'm going to read this whole thing. So I feel pleased to leave this age. I have set in motion events that have nothing to do with writing or the art that will have a more profound impact on this world than I could ever have written. I think of it, this age, as a gift to myself that I will wrap up and open someday in the future, only to discover that it's changed so much that it is indeed a surprise. Besides, I have yet another new age that awaits me. It seems I'm going to need some way to travel underwater in this new age, and there is so much planning in order. We'll come back to the rest of this in a second. This age is a gift to myself. Um, New age awaits. Need underwater gear. Need a way to travel underwater. Where are you going? Mechanical age, perhaps? Because there is a sunken city? Maybe. Who knows? Or not. Might not be that. Then we have a leap forward. 10 years. 10 years since I left this age, which I've called the Stone Ship Age. 10 years later. Underline it aggressively. Upon returning, I cannot believe the changes that have taken place. The original 3 boys have grown into adults, and there are many new faces that I do not recognise. Branch told me it's not rained for 7 years, and the cool breezes are back again. Right, so boys have grown up. Many new faces. Has not rained. For 7 years. They're all very content and have been serving me with new foods and showing me new materials they've discovered. It even seems like they found gold somewhere. Many things include gold. I see it in many forms around the island. My lighthouse has been kept in perfect condition, and it looks as if they've tried their best to keep it so. Yet I've noted that the entire rock it was built on has sunk approximately 40 or 50 centimeters. Oh dear. But the rock. That's bad. Hi, Anime. How you doing? You're off to a local watercolor. Enjoy. We're reading some books. After a wonderful visit with my old friends, I wonder aloud with them what things will be like here in another 10 years. They'll probably be dead. Because of some sort of natural disaster. Or this age is the age before the stone ship age is the age before the pirates, the mechanical age. So that's every 10 years that they come and murder everyone. So, I wonder if that's linked in some way. Who could say? Then we have constellations. Right, I'm trying to draw some constellations. These are the ones he's named, by the way. So we'll see what they're like. We've got a anchor. Great job, mate. Lovely. We have got. Oh, these are outside on the boopity boops, I think. There's like some little switches and toggles, which I've seen an eye and I've seen an anchor. And I've seen a snake. So we have appears to be like 3. And then 2 little ones. And that's supposed to be a snack. So I'm going to draw really badly. That's a. I don't quite know how that's a spider, but we'll take it. Thank you to Amy for the follow. Thank you very much. Yes, the danger noodle. The danger noodle snack. Then we've got the cross. Oh god, this drawing is questionable. Maybe the spider lost their. Wow. This, yeah, is to do with the. Yeah, that thing outside. Whatever the fuck that is. I'll show you in a minute. How I turn that into something of use, I don't know yet. I like how I'm writing down the name of the thing that I'm drawing, just in case I look at it later and go, what the f is that? I don't know if this is going to be a bird or if we need to be a bit more specific with it. I'm just going to put bird question mark. If there's another bird, then we might be in trouble. Like, what even is it? Is it a stork? Is it an emu? Is it a... Like, is it a wading bird? What is its flight capacity? Flamingo? It looks a bit too, not to say stonk for a... Could be a flamingo. You'd vote for flamingo. It's just... I mean, I guess. Oh, and then we have a leaf. Can it carry a coconut? A wiggly goose? Oh, it's not a swallow, Nunu. It's not a swan either. The legs, proportionally, that is giving me... Swan had a baby with a flamingo, had a baby with an emu. But we'll put flamingo. Question mark. There's no other birds in the lineup, so it's actually fine. And then we have leaf. Doesn't look pissed off to be enough to be a swan. It could be asleep. And then we've got what is appears to be like a horse chestnut kind of tree. Or a sycamore? Is that what they are? Leaf. That'll do. And that's the end of that book. Oh, thank God. You thought it was over. It's not fucking over. We've got one more book. We've got the Channelwood book. Oh, fuck me. This age is Channelwood. And it's a different world. When you say world, do you mean world metaphorically, not actually in this instance, right? Mr. Writer, 12, hang on, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, page 17 is Candlewood. Candlewood notes. Back. Right. I have called this age... Oh, not Candlewood. Why am I calling it Candlewood? It's called Channelwood. Why can't I read? Oh, enjoy anime. Have a good time. Thank you for quickly stopping by. Let's try that again. Let's try writing properly. Where did I get Candlewood from? As a general, just word. I fixed it. I've called the sage Channelwood, and it is a very different world. Although it's exactly how I imagined it, it's still amazing to see it with my own eyes. Water covers the sage as far as I can see, except for a small rocky island. You just made your first mug cake. Congrats. I don't think I could make one. Maybe I should. Maybe I will. Maybe I will tomorrow. I think I've got the stuff for it. So this is the name of the age. These are silly naming conventions as well. You just had a coffee and walnut muffin. No. I had none of those things. Just a notebook and some slightly suppressed rage. I'm gonna write this down word for word because it's very weird phrasing. I'm hating this person more and more. It's more than just what the fuck is happening, and then also somehow misreading Channelwood. Water covers this age. It's exactly, hang on, exactly how I imagined it. Water covers this age, as far as I can see, except for a small rocky island. All water to horizon, apart from. Oh, I've got a text. Hang on. Might mean. Please hold. Might mean dog. Oh, or not. I was like, because I've got the door shut. If she comes upstairs, I'll open it for her, etc. But it's still a bit warm, and she's apparently. I thought that was the text saying she's coming up. No. She's absolutely asleep. She's completely out of it. She's gonna have her dinner time in like 40 minutes. And then I think they're going to be going out because the temperature's not as bad. So she might appear briefly, but it's entirely going to be down to if she wakes up in time. She is completely out of it at the moment. I was going to reply to it. I just opened it and then didn't reply. Whoops. I'm on phone. Can you imagine if she came up now as well? It'd be very unhelpful. Right, I'm trying to read this book. So, elsewhere, there are only trees. Trees growing directly out of the water. What? A myriad of thin wooden passageways are built just above the water and disappear into the forest. Running between. I assume they were built some time ago because they appear aged. Aged, not new. I'm eager to discover more about this land and its people, but I've arrived here late and I must rest. I was awakened this morning by strange noises coming from a pathway adjacent to the one which I've slept on. I saw a group of monkey-like people heading in my direction. I see. Someone's been reading Planet of the Apes again. I did not feel threatened by their presence. Their response to me was one that I would never have expected. After staring at me for a short time, they fell to their knees and began what appeared to be some sort of ceremony or worship. This is just what this guy needs. I dreamed this whole world up, and then also when I arrived, they just started worshipping me. Um, he didn't expect to be worshipped. Yeah, 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 no, didn't expect it. But he's not going to dissuade them. Um, um, worship. Do not speak same language. Do not speak the same language. Okay. Instead, they indicated through enthusiastic hand motions that I was to follow them. As we walked, I began to notice that the waters below us were changing colours. Slowly, subtly, they changed from deep blue to muddy orange, from muddy orange to beautifully clear. I was so intrigued by the water, I hardly noticed we'd arrived at a ladder. Was it deep blue to muddy orange to beautifully clear? Yeah, the monkey-like bit. Unless I literally Planet of the Apes-esque. It's very coded as a choice to call a group of people who he hasn't quite implied are lesser beings than him, but othering, shall we say. Followed to the village, climbing the ladder led us to their village, which is about 10 metres above the water and can only be reached by rope ladders that stretch from the lower paths. From the lower paths to the village level, approximately halfway up the grand trees. It was very interesting watching these people carry out their daily tasks. Even after watching them for hours, I did not understand exactly what they were doing. So, what have we put? Watched daily tasks. Village is what suspended was it 10 meters above the thing. I don't think that's going to really matter, but at sunset they motioned for me to follow them. I followed the creatures to the doorway of an enormous hut. Strangely, once inside, I found that the hut appeared even larger than it had from the outside. The walls were garnished with bright metals, and in the centre of the hut sat the leader of these people. At least he appeared to be their leader, for he sat a metre off the floor in a thick throne. Guards surrounded the strong creature, who was dressed in many exotic, colourful fabrics. Next to the leader sat a very old human, at least to some extent he appears human. His hair, which was only on his face and head, was completely grey, almost white, and hung very long around his frail body. His thin head hung limply by an almost grotesque neck that could not hold its head up to look at me. But what a surprise this creature could speak my language. Hello, Thordius. Welcome to books. The last of the books, and then we have to go and look at things. And I found the weirdest of the books so far. This creature could speak my language. Shortly thereafter, I was given a bed with some hand motions that looked to be telling me to go to sleep. I look forward to learning more. Right. Oh God, there's so much. Okay, I'm just gonna skim this. So, met their leader in a big hut on a throne, a thick throne. The walls had bright metals, and need a colorful fabrics. Come in and read it to me. Well, no, because I'm going back and like analyzing it anyway, so I'd end up rereading it anyway. What was I going to do? Had a. I'm going to put an ancient. Human, very long grey hair, frail body. Could speak the same language. He is old beyond his own reckoning and seems almost insane. However, the tree dwellers almost revere him as a god. They are treating me now in the same fashion, which makes me feel very uncomfortable. This is the first time you've expressed any level of uncomfortable from, or just your whole fucking thing. Hello, Lucian. Yes. Yes, it's very colonial text era. Can't believe he has the nerve to say he feels uncomfortable after what was it he said at the start of this? It's a very different world to the previous age. It's exactly how I imagined it. Treated like a god. The point actually just occurred to me in a different one of the other books. There's a reference to a different tribe of people in a different age, and I wonder if this is them, like later on. Anyway, so it's almost impossible to understand this old man. His voice is feeble but wild. He has adopted much of the language of the tree dwellers. He himself told me he has not spoken our own tongue in ages. He attempted to explain the history of the place. The following is my best translation of what he told me. Insane and hard to understand, according to this man. Right. Many years ago, the humans and tree dwellers lived together in this place, which was then a vast island. Oh no, is this actually like the far end of time? Oh no. This was then a vast island. They interacted very little. The humans dwelt on the ground, and the tree dwellers lived high above the humans. Maybe not. Occasionally, the island was disturbed by mysterious rumblings, which happened randomly. Some sort of tectonical volcanic action, I suspect. The way that that's written implies they're not the ones that you've seen. Unless you're going back from this age, check it out. The sometimes slight, sometimes heavy tremors would last only a short time, then they'd stop and everything would return to normal. One day things changed. The rumbling began and grew quite quickly to unprecedented levels. Soon it became apparent the entire island was sinking into the ocean around them. Many of the humans died that day, but not before sacrificing themselves in order to stop the sinking of the island. The humans who lived through this catastrophe moved into the trees, where they gradually died out, maybe because they were unequipped for such an environment, but I am not sure. This is the story the old man communicated to me, although many details are unclear in my mind. I am especially confused as to how the humans saved the island from completely sinking. In fact, I doubt the accuracy of that part of the story. The island must have stopped on its own. Yet the old man believes in the truth of the story as if he'd been there, and the tree dwellers worship him, and apparently all humans, as if he/they, like that's been crossed out, they were heroes or gods. The old man ended our conversation together today with an event which I'll never forget. He began gripping my hands tightly, murmuring something about rest and asleep. He then said we had expected you to come sooner. These actions filled me with a sort of immediate dread. Hello, Gwendolyn. Hope you're good. I'm just reading a book. What? Oh, God. These actions filled me with a sort of immediate dread. With much effort, he stood to his feet and tried to help, but he pushed me away with more force than I imagined his frail body contained. The tree dwellers quietly surrounded him with very solemn faces. Then they kneeled before him. He walked to each and placed his hand on their heads. All the while, he murmured words which I did not understand. Finally, he turned to me and smiled, then closed his eyes and walked out the door and off of the narrow path high in the trees. Oh, so he just walked out. I'm good, thank you, Grandad. We started Myst last week, so I'm trying to unravel the fuck is happening. I think there's a Highlander style situation. I think he's like, well, you're here now. Bye bye. I'm done being the weird local god. Hello, Kimura. Happy Saturday. Thank you for 94 months. You're tired. Yes. I'm a bit warm. I'm a bit tired. I'm a bit confused. I now also want jam donuts, but we have got chocolate donuts downstairs. They'll have to do. Later. I'm not bringing it up here, but it's too messy and it's too warm. It's gonna melt. So the story goes, if you go back a page, I could just cut the donut in half, except the chocolate is on the outside. It's like a chocolate crust. So you could actually just put jam in them anyway. No, sadly not a stuffed donut, but they're like a weird. I think it's like a Spanish brand. I could have found them in Lidl. I think it was Lidl, and they're Italian or they're Spanish, and it's like a really light, fluffy dough for the donut. So it's a different texture anyway. They're tasty, but they are again messy because it's just you pick it up and the chocolate goes everywhere. So it's like this should not be anywhere near any sort of technology. Now you must peruse Lidl. They're like a pack of 4 donuts in like a little paper cardboard box, and then the top of it is like clear plastic. Are they? So I think they're just shelf. I don't think they're bakery, but I don't know. They also may not be in your Lidl. I make no guarantees as to the local Lidl situation. So, okay. Many years ago. The how am I writing this down? Okay, so he said humans and tree dwellers live together on the island, right? Live together but on a vast island. Um, occasionally occasionally they'd have random tectonic. I can't spell tectonic. There's no H in tectonic. Or volcanic action. This is interesting though, because this person, I assume it's the same person that's writing these books. Also, hi Sam. Welcome in. Welcome to the tired gang. Welcome to the lore drop of the game as well, or some of it. This is someone who understands what tectonic and volcanic action is, right? If this is the same person who wrote this book as the book who literally witnessed a volcanic eruption and didn't go, it's a volcano, is there a timeline thing, or are these different writers? We know several of them are the same people because they reference the same people. Is this like the first book? Or is this later? Because also, if you had this story told to you and then you went to, is it the Selenic Age, I think that was where the volcanic eruption was, you'd go, oh yeah, that's what happened to the wouldn't you? There'd be some sort of contextual reference within. So for those of you who've joined, time travel and also dimension hopping, kind of. Not 100% sure. That's the kind of point. We've got to work out what's going on. There are 5 books here from different time periods. All got the same handwriting, all written in the first person. But in one of them, it is very clearly the parent of 2 characters who are in the room with us, actually. This one has not yet referenced them. But that one with the kids is there when a volcanic eruption happens and doesn't act in the book like they understand what it is. They're like, oh god, there's fireballs and the earth is like opening. As opposed to this, where in brackets they're like some sort of tectonic or volcanic action, I suspect. It's just like, this is someone who understands what that is. Is this being written? But this is someone who understands what it is, but makes no reference to having been there to see a volcanic or tectonic thing go down previously. And if they had come here first, then they make no reference to it in the other text where they're also there, and they're like, oh, this is what happened. Which could just be bad writing. Or it could potentially mean that these are different people who both do the magical whatever the fuck it is. There's been no reference to the birthplace of any of the writers, no. But also, we're not on Earth to my knowledge, so there is a possibility we may not necessarily recognise a place name or even indeed an age at this rate, what it is. Occasionally random tectonic or volcanic action occurred. Nothing wild. But then one day, the island sank, basically. So this is the thing, right? The island sinks. At the start of the mechanical age writing, there is reference of a city sinking. But there are no black ships, which also came with the city sinking. So it's like, maybe that's not the. Maybe there is a thing. Maybe every 10 years this fucker happens. It just wipes it out in some capacity. Who knows? Thank you to Geordie Demon for the 7 months of whatever this is. Oh my god! Then one day it got worse. The island sank. Sorry, not the city. The island sank. Island was sinking into the ocean. Many humans died that day. Oh my god, Sethy Duck. Gifting subs, that's ridiculous. Thank you. Thank you a lot. There's 2 packs of gift subs today from very generous people. Thank you. My brain is so frazzled from this. I'm just like, oh god. Yes, you are ridiculous. Thank you for giving folks. Also, no ads. It means they don't have to watch ads on the content, and they get emotes by giving gift subs. So, thank you for supporting the channel, but also giving a little bit to other viewers. Thanks. Um, I'm getting many humans died, right? I'm getting hung up on this thing. Many humans died, but not before sacrificing themselves to stop the sinking of the city. Sorry, the island, not the city. I'm thinking of Atlantis. This is not Atlantis. Um, to stop the island sinking. Which this guy who's telling the story is very positive happened. I do realise. But also fuck ads. If I could live in a world without the ads running, I would. But they don't make a lot, to be fair. But bloody ads. It's naff that's like one of the main ways that folks monetize. Just everywhere, you know. Also, I wish I had more control over them. There's not that much control on either YouTube or Twitch, but sometimes I'm like, what the fuck is this ad that you served? If you ever get an ad and you're like, this is not appropriate, you should be able to report it on both platforms, by the way. I think it's either the cog or like three dots while it's playing. Remember, we didn't have that many ads on YouTube. I love that you're saying didn't have that many ads, and that was like what, one ad per video at the start, as opposed to if you skip forward like every 20 seconds. Like, the worst part about a lot of that is like YouTube's automated ads are intensely aggressive. So I pay for Twitch Turbo, Cliff pays for YouTube Plus, because we watch stuff on his account downstairs on the TV. And it's the thing is as well, Twitch Turbo and also YouTube Plus gives the ad revenue to the creator that you're not watching the ads for. So we still get it anyway. But it just covers you across the platform. So it's a lot easier if you're like, I can't afford to support this many creators. Sometimes it works out a little bit better. Yeah, I've got Turbo because I have to check creators for work. And if I had to look every 5 minutes at a load of ads on a creator's channel, I'd never get anything done. The amount of time you'd lose just sitting and just go, ugh. If your TV, yes, we get. Oh, that's. I think it's Channel 4. If you pause the Channel 4 video app, if you pause it, you get an ad. It's like, oh, piss off. You can also pay for no ads. I'm like, no, I refuse. I'm only here to watch Taskmaster. I will cope. I'll cope, and then I'll see you again in a couple of months. Yeah, humans move to trees. I like how I've just derailed myself again. Humans move to trees. Humans moved to trees and died out because they weren't, equipped for the environment. He is very, very determined to communicate that the humans saved the island. But he is adamant about that. That they saved the island and it was not random. The island must have stopped on its own. The old man believes in the truth of the story as if he'd been there. Maybe he had. To be fair, a lot of the time with derailing, it's how it's how easy it is, which actually has reminded me. The ease of the derail that happened then is because it's time for the ADHD boosters. Do you need to take medication that you've forgotten to take? This is a reminder.
Go and get yourself a drink right now. It's good for you, honest.
It is. And yes, hydrate. At one point, you were having a Twitch bug, but that should show the stream going to the corner muted during the ad. It was the ad doing that. That's preferable.
Has anyone in chat forgotten to take their medication?
Gentle reminders. Oh, the old man is very adamant about this. But it stopped on its own. As if he was the... Oh, Lucian, I hope the titration is going well. It is weird. It's too late, Corvus. I can't take them at 5 p.m. You'll be up all night. Oh, no. See, my ones are like 4 hour max. So if I have them around 4:35, I'm good until about 9. But they are very small ones. They're like... what is it? I have in the day. I have like 58, 54. I have 54 in the morning, slow release. And then at 4:30, I have 15 instant release. What you need to do, Chimera, is you need to look up the what's it called? The not codependencies. There's a thing somewhere where you can look up all the different versions and how long they run for. You're taking... Oh my god. Okay, yeah, no. Argy. 2 streams ago when I raided Argy introduced me to chat as being riddled with ADHD. And it's like, looking at Camiro's dosage, I should get it on a t-shirt. I mean, he's not wrong. Oh. Christ. Like, you didn't even know they did. Oh, yeah. They do, it's up to 54. I think they can go higher, but at that point you start just getting multiple tablets to take at the same time. But the slow release ones, you can go... I don't... Can you go up to 70? Maybe? I don't know. It might be you get a couple of tablets for that. We have a friend on us who's on 80. You're still in titration. Oh, well then, yeah, you're not. Don't worry. Also, my booster is after a year of just having the one in the morning. And I was discovering it's not quite right. And also, yeah, it depends on the one. So if you're on like Elvance or Vyvanse, like any of the ones where you have to take it every day so it builds up, I think Vyvanse does that too. Mine is not that. It lasts for the day and it's gone. So different amounts for different people. Also different types of ADHD. So enjoy the titration journey. I hope that it gives you some answers. Also, don't if something is not working, um, or like Lucia's experience, you've gone too, you went too high and then you hyper the focus the fuck out of everything. Don't be afraid to say something. Your next review is Monday. You're at a point where you don't know if you ask for a higher dose. You don't know how functional you should be. It is totally valid in titration to say that you would like to try, if you're in titration, you want to try a higher dose to see what it's like. Because that's what I did. And I think I tried, yeah, the initial dose. I think we tried something that was a little bit higher, and I went, no, that's too much. That's what titration is for. And then you have an annual review, which is where I went, actually, can I have a booster in the evening, please? So yeah, if you're in titration, that's what it's for. Also, there's also an element of it which can sometimes be a bit confusing, is like, it's not, you're definitely more functional, you're not unhappy with where you are, but you don't know if there's more. That's a thing, and it's like, it's not just because you have the meds doesn't mean you're going to magically suddenly be, like, for want of a better word, fixed or happy or not tired. And it is, yeah, you don't know what level of function you should be aiming to reach because you've never had that function. So you have no frame of reference as to be like, and I can guarantee you as well, and I said, actually, I think I said this to Radders actually, I was like, on day one, don't fucking overdo it. Because suddenly you have the ability to executively function. Don't be like, yeah, I'm going to get up and I'm going to do this and this and this and this and this and this and this. And oh, fuck, now I'm really tired because I didn't. The day one rush is amazing. But if you've got anything like chronic illness, it's like, do not overdo it. Because also you're suddenly like, wow, I can do everything. Because suddenly your brain's getting dopamine the right way. So yeah. Interrupting gameplay to have an ADHD medication tangent is the kind of branding big companies can only wish for. Do you know what? I'm not into big pharma in terms of the ethics of advertising pharmaceuticals in any format. But I am into mental health discussions, and improving awareness in general. So from that perspective, I'm always happy to chat about things like that. Camiro, I listened to something on like full stereo mic headphones, and was just like, holy fuck. I can hear not just specific bits of the music, but like I can hear the whole thing in a completely different way. It was wild. I also sat on the sofa and I think I said to Cliff, is this what relaxing is like? I also I would also highly recommend, if you have not managed to get behind yoga previously, try doing a bit of light yoga. I mean like basic bitch yoga as your initial boost is your initial meds are kicking in. It's sometimes quite calming. Doesn't always work. You have a yoga mat barely used. Part of it is because it's very hard to calm down and settle. Um, but give it a little go, just as a general like stretchy thing. There was a point where your headphones turned off because you'd not listened to any audio in like half an hour. You didn't even realize they turned off after a set time. I mean, my god, yeah. Um, yeah, Lucian, it's wild. It really is wild sometimes. How they work. And when they work. Also, if I don't say it now, we're going to tangent back in. Um, in 1 minute's time, if you're not subscribed, you may see some ads on Twitch. Please use this time to, again, practice self-care, like going and getting your meds or getting a drink. All of that stuff. I found relationships with food sometimes change, not always. But there's a lot of like something when you have I think autism it does factor in, but ADHD elements of like body awareness can be quite different for different people. So things like whether it's, needing to go to the loo or feeling hungry, there's a lot of people will understand the I'm not hungry, I'm not hungry, I'm so hangry I'm going to kill a man unless I eat, like the sudden switch. It's like because you don't notice that sneak up on you. So there's things like that where it can really help. But yeah. It's always a case it's a case of just sort of feel it out. Don't overdo it anyway. Just try some stuff. Because you're changing your entire relationship with everything. Thank you to Asata Sabli for the 2 months. And now, I have to finish this goddamn book. We have been here for 2 hours. And all I've done is look at these goddamn books. Because there's so much. There's so much book. And now back to... It's also tiresomely colonial Englishman. Yes. Yes. It's taking me back to university. And the colonial module that I think we had to do. Did I choose to do it, or was it thrust upon us in year 1 along with Shakespeare? It's like you do Shakespeare throughout school, you get to uni, you're like, brilliant, I'm going to study English. There's many fine bits of literature that English would cover. No, it's Shakespeare. In another remake, there's another book. Oh god. So many books. Oh, right, so, okay. I like Shakespeare, but if you ever want to, dissuade a generation of children, just force it down their throat. Give them a nice little bit of Shakespeare. Don't make them do all the Shakespeare. Or do the fun stuff. Talk about the weird ones. For the game, I think you only need key clues to the books. Yeah. That doesn't mean I'm not writing everything down. I've been very thorough. Blueprints has ruined me. Now I'm just like anything and everything. What if I get 20 hours in and we haven't written this or something down? Thing is, it will help with conversations about law later. That's fine, Camaro. Don't worry. I also, as someone, it's books. I did not read books after finishing uni because you become basically, if you do anything that involves like analyzing literature in any capacity, you cannot read anything for a good year plus after, because everything you look at, you're automatically trying to analyze it and find a deeper meaning, and it's just like, no, I just want to read a fucking book for fun. Like, it's great being able to do that, but also I'd like to read for pleasure. I decided to do, so some of my dissertations included like fantasy literature and the fear of death. So instead of going, oh, why don't I do it about things I'm not going to accidentally read in my day-to-day, I leaned into that. And then was like, oh no, I've done my dissertation on one of my favourite fantasy works. I now will not be able to read it for some time. And then binged like seven of the Garth Nix Abhorsen books in like 1 weekend. Right. Also, yeah, don't forget, in the Discord, we do have the Neuro Spicy channel. If you're ever like, I need to talk Neurospice in any capacity, and the venting channel, and also the Born This Way channel. And other channels are available. There are many. And there's also a support ticket channel. If you're ever like, shit, I need to put in a support ticket. That's it. That's there too. Right. This is not actually benefiting us. Cliff's going to be like, what did you do on the stream today? Oh, there's also Wordle. Yes, I've added Wordle. For better or for worse. What do you do today? I just wrote down a load of shit from a book. Also, yes, on the off chance that there are other people than Michael in the community who are neurotypical. Poor Michael just sits there and is like, why do I have to deal with this? Why do I have to just, herd cats? There are places for you as well where you can chat. And apparently, yeah, thanks for just calling me out. If you're me, just regard the channel names and post wherever you like. And to be fair, I'm not the person who posted the Dungeons and Dragons thing in the gardening chat. And then didn't post it in gaming, but put it in general channel. Thank you as well, Lucian, for the follow. Oh. There will be some, Michael, I'm sure. If there's not, then fucking hell. Between me and Argy. Oh. Riddled with ADHD. Right. Just be around the YouTube end of things. Yeah. Yeah, we get a few folks pop back now and then. And also I am multi-streaming to a different YouTube, which is not fallen between the algorithm and is still exists properly. But it's nice when pops when peeps come back. When pops come back. I don't know who Pops is. What is neurospicy / neurodivergent is an ongoing debate, I think, within the scientific community. Kind of more of an umbrella nowadays. But it's like, where does the umbrella start and stop? So ADHD is in there, autism is in there, but also dyspraxia, dyslexia. I think there's an argument for things like Tourette's in there as well. So, because also there are crossovers, you know? Like, I'm pretty sure I have dyscalculia to some extent, which is also in there. That's maths. Dyscalculia, which I didn't know about for ages. Not to be confused with Dracula, no. Oh god, imagine if the Count on Sesame Street had dyscalculia. That would be awful. One. You can't bully me about that, Michael. I'm still amazed by how quickly my brain just shut down when you were like, I'm going to try and explain to you in a really accessible way why dividing by zero, my brain just went, nope. Well, no, quick, pull the curtains. Nobody's home. Turn the lights off. Oh. I did really well at maths, but I think I can't visualize some numbers, but I'm good at pattern recognition sometimes. Anxiety disorders have a lot in common with neurospicy people. It's technically not neurodivergent. Again, this is why it's like, I am not the expert. However, I don't think they do. I think anything that's considered a... Oh, actually, no, I was going to say anything that's considered a disorder, for want of a better word, isn't in the umbrella, but ADHD is. But yeah, I don't think stuff that is like... there's neurodevelopmental and then there's like neurological and so forth. But this is also where it's like we don't have enough information about brains. It's like that as it's the more science, the more research we're doing into brains and neurology and everything means that the umbrella is probably going to shift as our understanding of what certain factors and causes behind things are. But we shall see. But no, from my understanding, it doesn't include those. Because also anxiety can be a mental health condition, but it can also be a symptom of something else, as Camiro said. So you could also be depressed and not have depression. So you could be anxious and not have anxiety. So yeah, it's a complex thing because it's the human brain, and I like how I have tangented so much to avoid dealing with this book as well. Yeah, that's a good example. Actually, is I don't know. I don't think it's still been called. Is it still being called borderline personality disorder? I think it's got a new name now. Um, but yeah, that is under discussion because it's like what factors qualify it to be in the umbrella. There's someone with BPD. Back to the effing book. Borderline's still there. Am I thinking of not histrionic personality disorder? No, no, no. Please hold. I need to look this up. I'm not thinking of split because that's not. I'm thinking of DID. That's what I'm thinking of. Split personality became dissociative identity disorder. That's the one I'm thinking of that got renamed. There we go. Oh, there we go. I literally look into chat and there's Safi. Yeah, that's the one. Well done. What was brains? Which one's histrionic personality disorder? Is it a woman's thing? I'm just asking because of the histrionic bit. And also what Raina said about like disorders. Most of the labels come from a rigid definition of normal. Yeah, which is why we now try and move towards neurotypical and neurodivergent, as opposed to normal, because no one's normal. We're all different. Histrionic personality disorder is a personality disorder characterized by a pattern of excessive attention-seeking behaviors, usually beginning in adolescence or early adulthood, including, inappropriate seduction and excessive desire for approval. Is that still going? Or has that been absorbed into something else, like narcissism? I I wanted to be a criminologist when I was younger, and then I discovered that it required like 7 years of psychology at uni before I could go anywhere near the criminology bit. And also, quite a serious thing. If you fuck it up, it's quite bad. And I was like, I don't think this is for me. I think I'm going to do my like criminology, psychology stuff from afar in video games. Yeah, you are normal. Camilla, you and I would have been fucking great in prehistoric times. What do you need us to do? You need us to go out and find something. Yeah, we'll see you in like 3 weeks. What's that? You need someone who could like. The delayed sleep phases are a silly thing as well. Oh, that's wild. You should put your hoist system in the house the next 2 months for this foot. Oof. I hope you can elevate it, Dark Star. Reasonably. I don't know if you can hear the dog barking. I've tweaked the noise removal. Ah, someone is at the door. What, 5 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday? Oh, the postman's here. Oh dear. That is the sound of a dog who has been fast asleep and has woken up to the noise and is like, what the? As opposed to, I heard the gate and I heard them coming. That's a like, how have you gotten past me? Because you've been asleep, you silly dog. Distinct from, okay, cool, right. Okay. She has bamboozled herself. It's something about books with pages of worlds. We should try and finish this. We really should. A video game. Back to the book that was written by a man who had locked you up and sold. I don't know. I think if you'd have gone along with what he'd said, he would have been like, yeah, fine. You might have been called something like Branch or Emmett or well, Will is not as bad. He might have made you some sort of weird boat out of stones. Emmett with an I, by the way, as well. Not even Emmett with 2 E's or 2 T's. Where's that gone? Yeah. Emmit. Emmett. Yeah. Emmett. And then Branch. And then Will. What are these naming conventions? Also, according to this man, Emmett named the other 2, and I guess himself. But who knows? They're all trans guys, the mid-2000s. Oh, fuck. Branch, that is a kind, yeah. Well, Branch is like a really awkward nickname he's picked up at school that he's still using like 20 years later. Right, so the ones who wanted to be distinct from Aiden, Jaden, Braden, and Caden. That's an American problem, that is. Apart from Aiden. Oh, Hayden, yep. Dear me. It's, yeah. You are not wrong, though. Oh god, Caden from Mass Effect. People do not know how to look at... That is an interesting thing, actually. People don't look at the baby name list from the year they're born, not that year. Although I suppose if you get to choose a new name, you could choose it from whenever the fuck you want. If you wanted to rename yourself and call yourself Cuthbert, you could. I wouldn't. There's not much room to work with Cuthbert, unless you want to be called Bert. But yeah, if you're choosing a popular name on the baby name list, then you're gonna end up with Branch. Name the next cat that. What, Cuthbert? You can have it. You want baby names? I mean, that is also a fair point. Trans guy's named Caligula. Hycilius. Hycilius est in horto. But yeah, generally, what Michael's kind of saying, not for everybody, but especially if you transitioned at certain points in history, that makes Michael sound really old. But like, say for example, like even between like the noughties and the 10s and the 20s, the concept of passing has changed you know? So you would not necessarily want a name that stood out from the crowd. Whereas now I'd like to hope that folks feel a bit more comfortable with just picking a name that works with them wherever, like whatever it's from. The 17th century. Oh. So, yeah. It depends, I guess, kind of. Also, I suppose it depends on, without going into it too much, what your dead name. Because if you had a fairly generic name, you might decide, actually, I want to go the polar opposite way. Michael has been out as trans for longer than the trans flag has existed, which, yes, is not a high bar for the record, but does mean that Michael is a highly important and awesome person within his community, and not just the trans community. When I say community, local community as well. And also, Michael is very wise. Excuse me. Never mind, fuck off. Rude. Back to the book. I hate this book so much. I don't. I hate
You
it.
have reached your destination.
To be fair, I was gonna cough anyway. I read the very wise with caps, and that made me almost giggle. So the gist is, there was an earthquake, the island sank. The humans moved into the trees, most of them died out because they couldn't cope. The tree dwellers are still here. They got one really fucking old human that they worship like a god. He's decided he's had enough. And as a result, has said, we expect you to come sooner. These actions fill me with a sort of dread. And with much effort, he stood to his feet. I tried to help, but he pushed me away with more force than I imagined his frail body contained. Please hold. Cliff's going out with the dog. Cool. That means that she is eaten. And that means she will not be coming up here to say hi, which is probably for the best, because can you imagine if the dog came in just to add to all of this? It's like we've just sort of semi-restored some order. And now, dog. Why are we studying this book? No, it's a good question. It's a good question. The gist is, Michael, this is one of the books that we have been studying since the start of the stream. Hello, Sapling. You were supposed to finish. You've missed fuck all. We've been looking at these books for 2.5 hours, Sapling. I have written so many notes. Oh, so this book is somewhere we don't know where the ages are. We don't know where these fit historically with each other. However, this book is the Channelwood Age book. This man turns up. He runs into some monkey-like people. It's very colonial flavoured, this specific text. He runs into them, meets them. They live in the trees. There's water everywhere. With trees growing out of the water, there's like one rocky island. He follows them to a village. They worship him like a god. He then runs into the village chief, who also has a human friend with him who's very old and grey and frail and treated like a god. So now obviously they're doing it to him. After a bit of time trying to work out what the man was saying, because it had been so long since he'd spoken the language, he said that this was the origin story of the whole thing, that humans and tree dwellers had lived together but on a vast island. They rarely interacted because the tree dwellers were in the trees, the humans were on the ground, and occasionally there would be random tectonic or volcanic action that occurred, and it would be fine, but then one day it got worse and the island sank into the ocean. According to the old man, who's very insistent on this specific bit, many humans died, but not before sacrificing themselves to stop the island sinking. Very, very definite on that point. as opposed to just the island stopping on its own. We don't know how old this man is. Maybe he was there. Maybe he saw it. Anyway, then the old man's like, "Cool, thanks, I'm done. It's time for me to go rest or sleep. We expected you to come sooner." These actions filled me with a sort of immediate dread. With much effort, he stood to his feet. I tried to help, but he pushed me away with more force than I imagined his frail body contained. I'd also say, if you're turning up now, this is the most action-packed bit of the stream. The tree dwellers quietly surrounded him with solemn faces, kneeled before him. He walked to each and placed his hand on their heads. All the while murmured words I did not understand. Finally, he turned to me and smiled. Then he closed his eyes, walked out the door, and off of the narrow path. Oh, high into the... Basically, the man just walked off of a rope bridge and died. Walked out the door and off of the narrow path, high in the trees. The tree dwellers were silent. They began a procession down the nearest rope ladder. As I was descending, I saw several of them pick up the body, he'd fallen onto a lower level of walkway, and carry it away. He was lain down at the dead end of a short pier-like structure. With the use of some potion, one of the tree creatures lit the pier on fire, and I watched as the flames engulfed him. As the strange funeral proceeded, the waters around the pier changed to dull green. So he basically was like, "Hi, welcome, much like what Clara's saying to Sapling, welcome to this mess. Here's our story. I'm done now. Peace out. Peace out, bitches. It's your problem." Off the walkways intentionally. As he's thank God he's not calling them monkey-like anymore. The tree creatures held a funeral. He's fully stacked it at work today. Hold it. Oh no. Did you manage to save any of the glasses, and did everyone go "Ooh," as is tradition? I don't know why we do it. I've been a waitress. Oh, you didn't drop them all and no one cheered. Okay. I've been a waitress, but there's still like a feral part of me that if you hear a plate smashing, wants to go, "Hey!" Also, hello, D-Corner. Also, yeah, did you cut yourself? Sorry, that is another important question. Did you injure yourself? This is more action-packed than you remember. Yes. It's not necessarily jeers. It's just we're too lazy. We're using our hands to cut our food, Michael. You know, a knife and fork. So we ain't got time for that. So we go, "Hey!" which is not necessarily a jeer. It's just sort of a syllable less noise. Oh, minor graze on the knee and a couple of minor cuts of grass. Oh shit! It looked bad. That's actually good. That's a better response than a British noise of acknowledgement. Yeah. But no, I'm glad that they came and checked on you. That's actually a better outcome. And that everything heals. And there's yeah, that's nasty. Fuck me, this book. We're never gonna finish it. The creatures held a funeral. Thank you, Nunu, for gifting a sub to D-Corner. If you're just joining us, we've been here for almost 2.5 hours. Or mostly we've looked at these books. I have written notes. Probably too many notes. But I feel like we'll need them. Nunu, thank you for gifting a sub to Sethy Duck as well. Oh, good job on your manager. That's what we want. Enjoy the emote, Seth. It's alright. Hello, Ronan. Welcome to book chat. These creatures held a funeral. There's a short pier-like structure. I write that down because on the islands there are weird things, like short pier-like structures. You cut your finger opening. Oh no, a twist. Oh no. So it's the worst. You have been going through it. Sweet, yeah. Just injuries at work. Jesus Christ, you need your own and they just lit the pier on fire. Lit the pier on fire, and waters around turned dull green. Why? Why do the waters change? Have you done the opening metal twist off for the bottom part of the top? Why am I trying to do it? I haven't done bar stuff for ages. This morning I woke, finding it hard to even believe the previous evening's events. The water is as dull green. Oh, oh, oh no. Oh no, this is bad. The next day, the water has changed. Well, not changed. Water everywhere is a dull green. As far as the eye can see, that's a lot of water. No longer shifting colour. As I wander through the pathways, the creatures watch me, curious as to what I'll do next. They're constantly offering me strange objects of affection. I even found food outside the doorway to the room in which I'd slept. This is a unique race of beings. I hope to learn their language soon, so I may learn more from them. Then we have different writing. Ah. Ah, okay, hang on a minute. Hold on a second. So you've lived here for 3 months and you've decided to finally reference your loving wife and sons. This man is a nightmare. 3 months on and off. I was operating on the fact because he hadn't mentioned them. They hadn't met them yet. You sold a guy 3 bottles of almost 50 quid rosé over the course of 5 hours, though. Did you get a tip from that? The tree dwellers have shown great hospitality. I'm beginning to learn bits of the language. I've decided to return home for an extended stay with my loving wife and my sons, and hopefully return with them. However, I'm sure Catherine will once again refuse. I think this age would be a wonderful experience for them all, and I at least look forward to how Cirrus and Achenar will react to its curious inhabitants. Come, children and wife, come see the world that I have made and the strange people that have appeared. Ah, you too could be worshipped like gods. His fucking ego is off the charts. So, wants to bring. I bet when he's not there, she's like, brilliant. His loving wife. How the fuck does his wife deal with his shit? Maybe it works very well. Although she is leaving the son. Well, we're assuming that actually the sons are probably. They're clearly younger than he is. Looking at their age, I'm going to say 30 years old max. So let's assume that they're probably teenagers. So it works really well because he's never around, apart from the fact that she has to put up with the 2 sons, who could be nightmares. And based on the fact that they're both trapped in books, have talked to us, and one of them's a dickhead, and also this is the father figure, they're probably assholes. In addition to being teenage boys. Look, children, your father can build worlds and tinkers with them for fun, and then just pops back in like 60 years later to see if it's broken. Oh, God. So yeah, he thinks Catherine would say no. What I would say in terms of the writing of this, I don't know who writ it. Who writ it? Who doth writ the sacred text? This has become officially torture. Yeah, you're doing great on not spoiling. it's going to be interesting to see if my analysis of the text, using 4 years of degrees and study, matches with what actually, you know. Also, hello, Artian. Welcome in. Yeah. Also, yeah. Thank you for not answering the rhetorical questions. You don't know if it was Rand or Robin or both of them doing these books. The narrative voice seems consistent, at least with these books. Oh yeah. Oh, actually, yeah. If you clip certain predictions to show them to you later, timestamp them. Actually, no, that won't work. If you clip them and say, "Hannah, don't look at this," as the title, like Hannah, don't look at this prediction 1, then I won't look at them. Because then also, if the VODs expire, which they do on Twitch after 90 days, the clips will stay. And it means you have got to try and like cross-check it with the YouTube side, which will still be there, but timestamping both, nightmare. And if you're like, shit, that's not going to work, you can also just write it down or something. If you're like, I'm tempted, there's some really funny stuff, like you're so off base or you're bang on the money. Oh no, you say playing Myst. The first episode, there's quite a lot of reading in that. And also me going, how do I categorize this? Yeah, it's very like, come children, look at my weird little world I've made. Come and play in it. So, okay, so he does that. He's going to get that. Catherine is staying behind as expected. She's probably having a great time. My sons have returned with me and they enjoy this age very much. They get along very well with the tree dwellers and are picking up their language surprisingly fast. Probably because they're younger and more open to language. Which is also why I'm thinking like teenager or younger. Because picks up language quickly. It won't be long until they can speak with the tree dwellers much better themselves. Sons come back, enjoy it, and learned language. It's also, yeah, a very 1993 game at its core, which I like. And I'm aware of. We played The Seventh Guest remake recently after I played that as a kid. So, and then we also recently finished Blueprints, so it only made sense to come back and see a game that I hadn't experienced that arguably I should have at this point. But I'm glad that I picked up the remake because just getting it to run for a start, but also graphically a little bit easier for us all to look at. I'm leaving. Oh God, I'm leaving tomorrow. Do I think I'd move on to Riven? Maybe. I don't know. It depends on how we get on with Myst. Okay. Oh fucking hell. I see there's so many names. There are so many names here. Okay, hold on to your hats. I'm just going to read the whole thing and then I'm just going to write down the keywords. I'm leaving tomorrow to check on Osmoian age. I'm assuming that's yes, no. On Osmoian age, Cirrus has suggested that I allow him and his brother to stay. But the idea unsettles me. I know the boys are growing up rapidly. The hospitality of these creatures is such I could think of no better place to leave them alone for a short while, so I will consent to their request. I warned the boys not to take advantage of the respect the tree dwellers have for their ideas. They seem to understand my warning, and I have faith they will follow that. Bullshit. So, went to check on Osmoian age. Because the way that he uses age, it seems to not just be like time-based, but also place-based. You struggle. Okay, noted. This is kind of what I've heard is like Riven is, is not better than Myst, but is popular. However, better to start with Myst, because if it's going to sort of, Myst is like a shy first draft. It's still giving you an idea of what the first draft is like in it. Yeah, you missed the lore. That's the thing, because the Riven is a sort of prequel, from my very generic, vague understanding. So start with Myst, get a vibe for it, and then you're not trying to do that as well. Went to check on the Osmoian age. Cirrus, the two. I'm going to put A and S. That's their thing. They stayed. They stayed and were warned not to be dickheads to the locals. Yeah, it's intentionally confusing, which is kind of why we like it and why we came back for it, because again, like Blueprints uses Myst and Riven, or just Wrist apparently, as an inspiration. And there is a bit more of a like, here's what's going on in that, but there are still quite a lot of elements of like, what the fuck is happening, which is what we enjoy. And also the books. Wrist and Miven. Right. So that's happened. Then, much to my dismay upon arriving in Everdunes. So is that part of the Osmoian age? I assume so. Arrived in Everdunes. We're starting to do this now. It's like, look, big fuck off bits where I'm like, here's a thing that's happening. I learned that Pran and her people are continuing to be menaced by the Chotchkick? Chotchtick. That's being said totally wrong. Pran and her people, whoever the fuck they are, sounds a bit like Chotchki as well. One brain cell. Well, you've not shared the brain cell the chat I've got with me. The Chotchtick. I fear for their survival and plan on returning to her shortly after checking on the two boys. See Everdune's journal for more information. That is not in the library. See Everdune's journal. Menaced by the chocolate. Oh, is the caption struggling with chotch? This is the thing, is like, is that supposed to not? Is it a slur? But I'm like, what? Who are they? Because of the colonial like tone of the whole thing and the monkey like people earlier. I'm like, is this? Oh God. Who are these people? Are they humanoid? Who could say? But just more stuff. I was not trying to say tchotchke, but I feel like I probably should. Poor captions can't say it, although I'm probably saying it weirdly. After watching, so the two boys are apparently fine. I can see they're handling things very well. I could put it fears about leaving them there again. So, confident confident in them on check back. There we go. It could be chthonic. Wow, there's no T. Do slurs usually get a capital letter? Well, yeah, that's true. It is a rival people, but in not in English, but it's just like what in ye old writing they might. Oh, actually, yeah, I can think of a very good example. From ye olde times for sure. What the yeah. Oh God, Black Flag, of course. I wasn't even thinking about that. I was thinking about the Templars and the Moors, um, as they were called. There's streamers who give up after 4 pages of reading or don't listen to the brothers. The brothers, one of them said please, the other one didn't. That's all I've got. No, I like reading. I've got 2 degrees in language, literature, fiction, bollocks. So I quite like sort of having a look at this kind of stuff. And I don't really know why we didn't look at Myst before, other than I think it was just the time. Myst is for book, yeah. Yeah, I quite like, rummaging through a book of multiple ages, but also what text says about stuff. Like, this guy we've, I think, collectively established as a dickhead. My 2 degrees are useful sometimes. Oh, God. Modern and contemporary English. No, modern contemporary writing. Sorry, it was the second one. Which basically just means I write stuff that's kind of modern in it. Modern, by the way, is like James Joyce. It's The Wasteland. Like, it's 1920s onwards, I think, is the thing. It's not very modern. Contemporary is anything from 2000s onwards. Modern, like the art form. Yes, since Michael transitioned. Oh. It's just going to be a thing now. Every now and then, Michael, I'll just be like, so, Michael, it's like, what random things in history can I pull out? Fucking hell. Right, so sorry. The boys are okay. Fuck off, boys, so please feel free. It's like, you were around when the pyramids were built, Michael. Okay. Right. Serious business. But also, why, out just from a general thing, is colored text changing in this? Because it's been this color all the way through, and then suddenly colors are changing here. Something pyramids. I forgot about that bit. Maybe not the pyramids with Michael. Oh, that's a mild oversight. Oh God. You didn't build them; you just stopped the mud. And to be fair, the pyramid workers had wages, were built housing, and as far as we know, were not all slaves. There were some artisans that travelled, but there is also, yes, the whole let my people go element that I just mildly forgot in trying to reach for something. What about the Great Wall of China, Michael? Oh, that's older. Actually, it's not older than the pyramids. Ignore me. It's not older than the pyramids. That would be impressive. I don't. I assume that slaves were doing something like moving stuff, maybe. So yeah, stomping mud. It's alright. Every time we talk about the pyramids now, I also get an image of the Napoleon film with the cannons, and I have to try not giggling. Films. Yeah, text is changing. Did his pen run out? Because also, another thing is, in some ages, some of his writing has disappeared over time. So is this? Fuck knows. I don't know. I don't know why this has chosen to be a different color at this point. That's legit. He ran out of ink. I'm leaving tomorrow. Blah 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 blah. The tree dwellers seem slightly distressed that I'm leaving, but are happy that the boys are staying behind again. I've been gone for 3 days. I've been to many different places. I had to tell them about Pran's death today. Oh God. After 3 days, returned to tell A and S that Pran is dead. Rest in peace, Pran, whoever you were. It could be written at a different time as a separate entry. I mean, he does say I've been gone for over 3 days and I've been to many different places. However, other books, we've got time passing and he uses the same pen. So, I don't know. I did also, before we got to this bit and he started mentioning the boys, I did doubt if it was the same person. This was his rainbow era. Because I assume that it's like this in the original, color-wise. Like it's again, don't answer why it's like that, but I assume it's a deliberate color choice. And after blueprints, who the fuck knows? Should I have written down the color choicing? Maybe. Do I care enough? No. The color was always like this. Okay. Because also, this and this is not the same color. That's a slightly more pink color. That's a slightly more blue color. Right. Okay. Let's fucking finish this, and then we can finish the stream. And do some puzzles next week. I've been gone for over 3 days, been many different places. Pran's died, visibly shaking. They only remembered her from their childhood. Big whoop, she's gone. Maybe we'll care about her if we play Riven. Or at some other point. Who knows? Catherine has suggested be wise for the two boys to leave Channelwood for a while, and I have to agree. They'll be returning with me when I leave again. Catherine seems to be the voice of reason, to be quite honest. I mean, I don't know much about her, apart from she's a loving wife. But reasonable. I've read 2 books. Not 1 book. But yes, 2 books. Arguably, they do seem to be the longest books. Leave Channelwood. Also, if you weren't here earlier, I was calling Channelwood Candlewood for a while, which was fun. Camaro, have a lovely walk. See you next week. If we ever leave this book. I've told my sons they'll be returning with me in 2 days. They spent the entire night telling me an adventure they experienced in my absence, and it was rather remarkable. It seems they constructed a boat with the creatures and travelled some way out into the surrounding water. Oh, God. The boys made a boat and took the creatures out for a travel into the waters. I enjoy hearing them talk excitedly of their adventures and reminded of my own adventures as a child. Oh, here we go. Question answered about the journal. I finally understand why the tree dwellers have been giving me their many inks and insisting I write with them. Looking through some of my past entries, I see now that the inks have changed from the black I thought they were into different colours. Mother. I've shown some of the creatures my journal, and they laughed and howled. I did not know they had such a sense of humour. Even now, as I look through the very colourful journal, I cannot help but laugh myself. I wonder if one of the inks he wrote with that vanished has a similar property. Creatures, pulled a joke, practical joke. I'm going to write it down for later. Ink colours. Yes, thank you for being quiet. That must have taken a lot. And I would still want you to be quiet about it. Vipid lemon juice. Yeah, tee-hee. Oh, what's that? He's writing down his important... Actually, he's like one of the only guys there, maybe. His important scientific method. Or it's just magic and it's disappeared. It's one or the other. Who knows? So that's the ink colours explained. Fine. We will be returning tomorrow, so my sons are with the creatures for the last night here. They've told me they would like to come to Channelwood again, and have also asked if they could visit some other ages alone. No. I think not. Is that how you two got stuck in books? Last night. Travel to other ages alone. I believe they've proven to me that they're trustworthy and responsible. Catherine will also have to help me decide, good, whether they are ready for travel alone. For now, I must give my farewells to the creatures, for I do not know how long it will be until I visit the sage again. We'll have to think and ask Catherine. Which is the correct move. And then we've got some sort of thing, a future bridge, etc. I'm not drawing those. I'm not drawing those down. I can always come back. Or look it up. So that's a lot of pages I've written today. Far too many, one might argue. Where's this? 1. God. 17. 2021. I've written like 10 pages of things. We will finish in a second because also the ads are going to come in a minute. But I just want to show you instant at Galley House. At the Galley House, I'm playing on Steam Deck for funsies. The help stuff is actually really informative and useful. That's quite fun. Yes, not on stream. Not after the root trees, but it is enjoyable if you like a little bit of a puzzly thing. Instant at Galley House. Also, Sailts at Blake Manor. That's always good. So we've got a ship here that I can't do anything with. We've got these things, which are all tied to constellations, we now know. We've got this place. We've got this, which I can set the time of, I think. Maybe here, but I don't know what time I need yet. We've got this place, which is... Were you always there? Yeah, you must have been. Okay. We've got safe. We've got all of these, which I don't think are powered on, for whatever they are. That will not hold any pressure. Don't know what the point of view is yet. That goes down to a bigger area, if memory serves. There's like, oh yeah, the clanky corridor, the clanky corridor of like stuff, and there's also a lift. There's the jingly jangly sort of science bells that tell you that something is mysterious and weird down there. We've also got these power things that I can toggle. I have to climb a little ladder to do them. They don't stay toggled, so there's probably an order to them. We've got the weird rocket. We've got the half-sunken ship. We've got the gravestone. That it says something on it. We've got that cog thing. Again, there's no power. We've got my weird fucking chair in here that I assume might help me navigate ages or something. I don't know. We've also got this is officially the library. It's a very shit library, but you can do this, which makes it slightly more of a fun library. By which I mean it's not a library anymore. We're going in here. Woo! Now, there's an issue with this, because if I get in here and I pull this shut and then I press the button and we go up in the lift, we've got that. We've got this. Oh shit, there's no writing there anymore. I did write the writing down. I think it was a 2, and a 1, but I'm not 100% sure. We've got this ladder, which currently goes to nowhere, because this whole thing rotates. Using a different map thing. It's like a lookout tower that's got a little hole in it. So we've got to, I assume we'll have to align those in certain ways. Sethy, I hope you have a lovely birthday. Regardless. And the VODs will be here. So, yeah, there's some stuff. There's some stuff. Oh, this is the thing that makes this turn. That makes the whole tower turn. This also moves in a weird way. And then this is here, but we've got nothing to go on. And there's a weird hole in the ceiling. Oh, wait, hang on. What happens if I do... Oh, motherfucker, what? Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no. I don't have them written down because there's 300 pages of them. Now I know. Yeah. I was like, where is this thing? Because very specifically, the book that has all of them in has a diagram or a drawing of the library grate. It's 8 by 6. I just look at the books. I don't know what... there's 300 things in there, but it's fine. 240 and 221 are things that I have. Hang on, I would like to leave. This way. So 240, which had a double a colon thing. I wonder if it is related to the time. Yes, it was related to the time. Cool. And then the other thing that I had, I put these in the wrong order, but it's probably not this. No. Okay. Because it's 2, 2, 1. And that was actually below the 240 that I just used in that clock. So... I don't know. Hello? Oh, God. Oh, wait, hang on. Oh, wait, oh, you've not got power. Ignore me. There's some bullshit I need to do with that. And maybe also power it on. But that's fine. That's a next week problem. Basically. Cool. I'm just going to park myself back in the library. And then I'm going to do a save. So, we've done some stuff. I wouldn't say we've necessarily progressed heavily. Solve the puzzle I just do. That's peak me, isn't it? Just going, oh yeah, I just poke this thing and then we leave. Yeah, I just thought I'd give you a tour of, everything that isn't a book. Because holy shit. Thank you. Yes, I think we need that clap. But no, we've written some stuff down. So next time, I guess we will explore the environment a bit more. A bit more. We just explore the environment full stop. See what's going on with the cogs. And the ship in that middle bit with the turning on toggles of the constellations. There's some weird stuff there, but it's like, what can we do with the information we have? This thing. Yeah, fun. Whatever it ends up being, I'm sure it'll be fine. It's a great plan for next stream. I can't wait to forget it next week and be like, cool, so where were we? Open it and be like, oh no. What have I done? A standard me. Yeah, thank you for joining me. Next week, we will be doing more of the Control replay. I think it's probably going to be Thursday and Friday. So, yeah, we're just sort of plodding through that. Don't open the books again. But there's probably going to be the Everwood Journal or whatever it's called. There's at least one more. Plus the book with 300 pages of combinations, and also the 2 books with the weird dudes who live in them who want us to feed them pages. But otherwise, yeah, I won't open any more books. I promise. Okay. So, Radis has just gone live, and Radis is playing Mouse PI for Hire, which is a little detective game, isn't it? So I can send you over there. And you can help with more detective times, maybe. Or just, just vibe. Thank you for hanging out. And I'm going to press the raid queue thing so that you can head on over. And then I need to go and just exist in a room that is not quite as warm as this one has become. Although it's only 22 degrees, thank God. So, yeah, have a lovely weekend. And I will see you next week for more stuff if I don't catch you lot on Discord over the weekend. Bye, everybody. Enjoy some Mouse PI. Bye.